Good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope all is well with you. Let me first say I am not liking artificial intelligence. I am from an era where we kept it real, where things were actually as they are. Today it's getting hard to believe what you see. And I will not be using clickbait in my videos, such as I got something very important, and if you stay to the end, I promise to reveal it. I won't manipulate you in any kind of way. My goal is to make my content so interesting that it holds your attention until the end. That's my goal. So let's dive right into the content that I have for you today. The world that we're living in is so fear based. Everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, is something to scare the out of you or to make you begin to doubt, make you begin to wonder about your future. It's just full of fear. Every channel you turn on is just, every stroll is just fear. Is everywhere, sweetness. And in the Bible, it tells you 365 times to fear not, or is telling you things that will benefit you about fear. So it's obviously trying to relay to us that you're gonna first and foremost have to rid yourself of fear. And it takes true warriors, it takes true soldiers. It takes someone who is not afraid of death to be able to obtain that goal. Of course, we have things that come upon us that shake us, and we might, fall back somewhat, but then we have to have that in us to stand right back up. And that thing that gives us that ability is knowing your God. Knowing your God. Being able to look back on your life and see the things that God has brought you through over and over and over and over again. Listen, we are in a time where you better know who God is, and you better have a concrete relationship with God. You know, this is the time that we are living in. You also have to know and be mindful of your angels. Angels are so real. You know, due to us being on this physical realm, we have a tendency not to grasp and comprehend spiritual things. But if you just think, and I know everyone who see this video will remember a time in their life that they know it had to be divine intervention is the reason why you are still here. You didn't die in that car wreck. You didn't get hit by the car. You didn't drown. You didn't this and you didn't that, and so on and so forth. Everyone has a time that they can remember that if it had not been for intervention of something, God, angels, a higher divine power, I wouldn't be here. And speaking for me, my list goes on and on and on of those times. And that is what makes me love God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, so dearly, is because love first loved me and saved me. If it had not been for love on my side, truly, where would I be? So that is the first thing I want to suggest to you in order to begin to eliminate fear from your life. You got to know that love got your back. And when you get in a posture and in a position of being fearless, you'll be astounded at how many doors open and how many things that you will have the ability to step forward, to say, to do. You know, fear is possibly the thing that's holding you back from becoming your greater self. I think back to when I first started preaching. The first time I was in the pulpit, I thought my heart was finna come up through my throat. It was beating so hard, I was so nervous. I thought I was finna pass out right before the congregation. But God held me, and I always had the knowledge to tell God, please take the wheel. Because I knew if it was not for Him giving me the strength and the ability to do what I was doing, then I probably wouldn't be capable of doing it. So you got to have a solid relationship with God. You got to know that you know that you know that God always show up and show out. You know, we were living in a time when we first started our journey of I I think I can. And then we moved on to, well, I believe I can. Now I know that we're in a time where we better know that we can and that God will. You know, so this is something that is very detrimental to our progress. We have to get rid of fear of dying, fear of losing loved ones. You know, this thing called reality is something that we have to face. We know that death is real. We know that in some form we will experience it in our lives and circumstances. So, to the best of your ability, you have to prepare yourself for that. And speaking for myself, down through the years, after losing loved ones, friends, it is something that I have come to realize is gonna happen regardless. And so, and I have worked in hospitals, I have worked in nursing homes, and I don't perceive death as a bad thing. Death can be a gift, especially if someone is suffering pain. It can be a relief for someone going through something such as that. So that's the first thing I believe that is very vital for us to be fearless when it comes to death, to learn how to face it. I had two examples. My mother and father, they were soldiers. When it was their time to exit, I didn't detect any fear. Matter of fact, my father in hospice was joking and laughing, and he seemed to be having a good time. You know, I was like, I believe he's looking forward to getting up out of here. My mother called me to her bedside and told me, baby, uh, don't be concerned about me because I am ready to go. And just take care of yourself, so on and so forth. So I had two examples of my love, my hearts being fearless upon their departure from this earth. You know, and so conquering that is a must. When scripture tells you that you are more than a conqueror, how do you perceive that? When scripture tells you that greater works you shall do, how do you perceive that? Let's go here, quoting Jesus. Didn't I tell ye that ye are God's children of the Most High? Don't let commentary, don't let individuals water that down. It means just like it read. It wasn't for certain individuals in high positions. Jesus was speaking to everyone that ye are God's. So, with the realization that you are children of God, that you have the kingdom in you, that you have the mind of Christ, then what is there to be afraid of? We are living in a time where you got to know that you know that you know who you are. And when scripture is saying works, due to being in a physical sensory realm, we perceive that as a physical work that we need to be out here doing. But let me propose to you that it is referring to a spiritual, inward work that we need to be doing, which is more important than anything physical we think that we should be doing or we have to do. If you don't have your foundation, which is on the inside of you, solid, if you don't have your roots deep in the ground, then there is a strong possibility that you can be blown here, there, and everywhere. So you have to do the work. Another thing that religion has deceived us with is that we think that we can just pray for everything and God will just intervene and just, do it for us. No, God say he has given you authority. He has given you dominion. He has given all power in your hand. If you want peace, you got to work for peace. You got to do the work. You got to know how to hold on to peace, and you need to be learning things that will bring you peace. And let me say, I'm not sitting here before you trying to give you the impression that I have achieved it all. It's a work in progress. And I am still working just like you. I am thankful for the opportunity to share these videos with you because when I do, it reinforces it in me. I tell preachers all the time that I believe it was a setup by God to put us in these positions where we would have to dig and learn and study to show ourselves approved. And that gives us the opportunity to learn, to get that knowledge. And so, once again, eliminate fear. Stand your ground because you got such a great, great, great God backing you. And you have to know that. I love you. I hope that I have said something today that will encourage you, give you a light bulb moment, uplift you. If so, could you please like my video? And the only reason why I'm asking you to like it is that it help me with the algorithm and it will help the video to gain momentum so others can see it. If you see fit to become a subscriber to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you family. I am looking forward to building my family. I will do what I do in these YouTube streets until God say otherwise. This is a day that God has made. Please rejoice and be glad in it. I don't care if it's hot. I don't care if it's cold. I don't care if it's raining. This is the day that God has made. We woke up this morning, so therefore we got one more day. I love you. Be blessed.